Hey everyone, Nick here, and boy has it been a while since I've done a countdown, hasn't it? Well, since my top 10 Kamen Rider final forms have done so well, I decided to do the same thing for Super Sentai and count down my top 5 favorite power-ups / Battlizers in Super Sentai. Now, I originally planned on doing this video a long time ago, but I could never find the time to make it, so think of this as a sort of redo. And this was originally a top 10 at one point, but since half of my picks didn't have that much to talk about, I decided to narrow it down to just 5. Now with all that out of the way, let's get to the rules of this list. First off, I'm only including power-ups that are exclusive to one Ranger. Second, if the power-up can be used by the team, it can only be used by one Ranger at a time. And third, I'm only including power-ups that were used in the series, so I'm not including movie-exclusive power-ups or power-ups that are exclusive to a direct-to-DVD special. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the list. Number 5. Coming in at number 5 on my list is Gokai Silver Gold Mode. Now, Gokaiger is primarily themed after previous Super Sentai, so it makes sense that the 6th Ranger for Gokaiger is themed after previous 6th Rangers, and that his power-up embodies the previous 6th Rangers, which is awesome. What really sells it for me, of course, is all those miniature heads of previous 6th Rangers on the armor. That's really what makes it stand out, but that's not the only thing. I also like how his anchor thing that's usually on his forehead of the helmet, like it slides down and becomes the visor, which is really cool. I mean, I always got excited when that happened. I really wish this transferred over better to Power Rangers, but let's not get into that. Number 4. HyperSchinken Red. Gokaiger was a series that I haven't seen in full. Shinkenger was a series that I haven't seen at all. But that doesn't mean that I can't judge it based on its power-ups, and I'd say this is a really cool looking power-up. I love that red jacket that just sticks out over the usual costume and flows all the way down to their boots with those really cool looking white shoulder pads and that really cool shark looking sword. Yeah, I know it's a dinosaur, but I've only ever seen Power Rangers Samurai, and they call it a shark, so I'm going to call it a shark, and not to mention it looks a lot more like a shark than it does a dinosaur, but let's not get into that. Anyway, this power-up is number 4, so yeah. Number 3, JewelWhale. JewelWhale, everybody can agree, is a meh Sentai. There's nothing special about it, but it's definitely not terrible. But JewelWhale is one of the very few defining characteristics about JewelWhale. To me, this is when the suits for JewelWhale started to get good. The regular JewelWhale suits, well, the helmets were kind of bland. I mean, they did a good job representing the animal they're themed after, but to the most part, it's just bland. There's no detail in it or anything. And the symbols on the chest look like t-shirts you buy at a zoo. And those zigzag gloves and boots, I never really got into. But it really started to get good when JewelWhale debuted. The center logo isn't just like the animal. It like goes down from his shoulder all the way to his leg, which is really cool looking. And I really love those shoulder pads that pop out on his shoulders. And I also really like his helmet, how it emulates a whale. It's just really cool. And the fact that he uses an arm cannon to transform is just freaking awesome. Number 2. Chojetsu Akaninja. Hey you. Yes, you and the angry comment. Stop typing for a minute and hear what I have to say. Now, this power-up is not on the list because I think the ninja is a good series. I don't. As a matter of fact, I don't like Ninja as much as the next guy. That is not why this power-up is on this list, because the show do not determine how high the power-up makes it on this list. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this power-up. Yeah, one of the very few redeeming qualities of Ninja was how cool the show could look at times. And this armor is no exception. I really love it. I mean, I love the way it looks. I love the way how it could be passed around to multiple members of the team. Although it is kind of disappointing that neither of the two female team members got to use it, but that's beside the point. Anyway, this is a really cool looking power-up. As a matter of fact, it makes it look more like a samurai than a ninja, but then again, ninja isn't really about ninjas, despite it being a ninja-themed Sentai. Yeah, I'm getting off track here, aren't I? And my number one personal favorite Super Sentai power-up is Shishi Red Orion. Come on, you knew this was number one the second you clicked on this video. Q-Ranger is a fantastic Sentai series, and this is a fantastic power-up to go along with it. I love how it's all white, and with real hints of red to, symbolize that Lucky is the one using this. But what really sells it for me is that gigantic red star that leads into these shoulder pads and then leads into these drop-down cloths, for lack of a better term, to make for it like a cape. And as you guys know, I'm a sucker for capes. Anyway, the Q-Tama that's used to transform into this form is way too big. But that's the only criticism I have for this form because, well, it's an awesome power-up. And I would love to get my hands on the Psycho Q-Tama if I could afford it. And there you have it, my top 5 personal favorite Super Sentai power-ups. Did your favorites make the list? In the comments below, tell me what your favorite Super Sentai power-up is. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and definitely hit that like button if you want to see my top 5 least favorite Super Sentai power-ups. I guess that'll do it for this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, as always, until next time, see ya.